If you have ever been given this advice, especially in your 40s or 50s, when you are standing at a crossroads and wondering, what the heck am I going to do next? I want you to sit with me for the next 8 minutes or so, because I'm about to argue as a nurse who has watched a whole lot of women burn out chasing their passion, that this piece of advice is one of the worst things you can be told. And I'm going to give you what to do instead. So stay with me. This is going to feel refreshing for a lot of you. So let me start by naming what I mean. Follow your passion is a piece of advice that has been repeated so many times in so many self-help books, your TED Talks, your graduation speeches, and Instagram carousels, that it has become gospel. Nobody questions it, but if you find yourself unhappy in your career, unhappy in your life, unhappy in your work, the advice comes, just follow your passion. Find what makes you come alive. Do what you love. Here's the truth. This advice was invented to sell you something. It was not invented to help you build a life, and nowhere is it more dangerous than in the population of women I care about most, midlife healthcare workers, who are already, by the way, doing something they had a passion for at 22. And in my case, I knew I wanted to be a nurse since the age of 10. But I have news for you. Nurses followed their passion. Teachers followed their passion. Social workers followed their passion. Caregivers followed their passion. And here we all are, undervalued, underpaid, underappreciated, and being told to find our passion again like the first time worked out. I'm not doing that dance anymore, and I don't want you to do it either. So let me give you the 3 specific reasons this advice fails, especially for women in the situation you're probably in. Problem number 1, most people don't have one clear, burning passion. They have interests, they have curiosities, they have things they enjoy. They don't have one calling that clarifies everything. And when they are told they should and they can't find it, they conclude that something is wrong with them, that they are broken, that they missed some magical moment where the passion was supposed to arrive. Nothing is wrong with you. The advice is just wrong. It assumes a specific kind of psychology that most people don't have, and it leaves the rest of us feeling like we're behind in a race we never signed up for. Problem number 2, your passions will change, especially in midlife. The thing that lit you up at 28 is not the thing that lights you up at 48. Your body has changed, your priorities have changed, your energy has changed. The version of you who could stay up until 2 a.m. because she loved something, she's not available for that anymore. At least I'm not, and I'm 53. She's asleep by 10 because she works at 7. What following your passion looks like at 50 is completely different from what it looked like at 25. Pretending otherwise is why women get stuck. Problem number 3, and this is the big one. Passion does not equal viability. You can be passionate about something that will not pay you. You can be passionate about something that requires your body in a way you don't have anymore. You can be passionate about something that has no market, no demand, no path forward, no way to make that income. Passion isn't a business plan. Passion is not a sustainability plan. Passion isn't a life plan. I've watched women I love spend money they didn't have chasing a passion that they had no way of paying them back. That is not aspiration. That is heartbreak with better lighting. So, if you don't follow your passion, what do you follow? Here's what I've actually learned. 4 questions that have served me better than any passion inventory I ever took. Question 1, what am I willing to do the boring parts of? Every good pursuit, every one, has boring parts. For me, it's social media and the content that I produce. It gets boring. Do you want to do tedious paperwork, repetitive tasks, slow days, late nights? If you can't stomach the boring parts of something, no amount of passion will save you. So instead of asking, what am I passionate about? Ask, what am I willing to be bored by over and over because the whole is worth it to me? That is a much more honest question, and it eliminates about 90% of bad matches immediately. Question 2, what compounds? Some skills get better slowly over time and pay you back for decades. Others don't. Learning to build relationships, learning to write clearly, learning to sell honestly, learning to teach, learning about a specific domain deeply. These skills compound. They keep paying you. Chasing whatever's trendy right now does not compound. And what is a skill I would still be glad I built 10 years from now? Then start there. Question number 3. What does my body not feel worse after? This is a nurse question, and it is more important the older you get. Some work leaves you tired but satisfied. Other work leaves you empty and depleted. Both feel like hard work. They are not the same. Pay attention to your body's answer, not the story in your head. The stories lie. The stories are not true. The body tells the truth. Question number 4. What are people already coming to me for? This is the biggest one. Most people are already emitting signals about what they should be doing, and they miss them completely. What do friends ask your opinion on? What do you find yourself explaining over and over without being paid for it? What do people compliment you on that you don't take seriously? Or another question is, what do you own or are using that has given you such a transformation that you want to share it with others? That is your data, not what you fantasize about, what is actually happening around you. Combine those 4 questions and you get something better than follow your passion. You get a picture of what you might actually be able to build a life around. Let me tell you my own version briefly. I did not have a burning passion for beauty. This is not a story I can honestly tell you. What I had was nurses in my life who kept asking me what I used on my hair. I had a body that wasn't feeling worse after helping women with their hair. Actually, the opposite. I had a compounding skill, relationship building, that I had spent 25 years developing without realizing it was transferable. And I was willing to do the boring parts, the follow-up messages, the consistency, the slow build, the continual education. I didn't follow my passion. I followed the signal. Small, quiet, easy to miss unless you were paying attention. And that has worked out infinitely better than chasing a fantasy would have. I cannot tell you what will work for you. Anyone who claims to is lying to you because I am not you. What I can tell you is that follow your passion has failed more midlife women than it has ever helped. And you deserve better advice than what got you into your first burnout. And this is important to realize. So, let me tell you what I do very simply and very plainly. I help women in healthcare build a business in the beauty industry so that their extra shifts become a choice and not a necessity. Because I know a lot of nurses are working extra shifts just to make ends meet. I didn't pick this because I was passionate about it. I picked it because it made sense, quietly, over time, based on real signals. And that is the model I recommend to every woman I work with. Not passion, but signals. So if you've been beating yourself up because you can't find your passion, just stop. That advice was never going to help you. Instead, this week, sit with those 4 questions, journal them out. What am I willing to be bored by? What compounds? What does my body not feel worse after? What are people already coming to me for? Comment below and tell me what your first honest answer is. Nurse to nurse, woman to woman. And let's stop chasing a fantasy and start following the signal. I'll see you in the comments.